name is Christoph Sharp, and I go under the name of Decadent Decay. Decadent Decay. It's very rich and yet horrible all at the same time. It kind of makes me think of royalty and being plagued, that twisted kind of thought process. I believe I was a late bloomer because everyone else, when I was growing up, was always doing art, but it wasn't until high school that I actually got started with art. It was just, a bunch of doodles and anime characters and whatever, inspired me at the time. People said I was starting to get good at it, so I just kind of followed that path. I didn't really take myself seriously at that point. When I actually started taking myself serious was probably within the last couple of years. People started to just continually push me and say, well, you can keep doing this. This is actually really good. You can sell this stuff. I'm like, all right, I can do that. I'll be influenced by, my peers. I'm definitely a big Giger fan through his sort of movies and everything like that. I was always into very spooky movies. My dad would always put on, the scary movies like Hellraiser and Aliens, because he loved that kind of stuff. I started off early getting those influences, and it just kind of evolved into my own style and my own mashup of everything that I've been into, like anime or scary movies or whatever. And it just kind of makes into my art this spooky, dark, creepy, but not yet terrifying feel. It's just something that you have to see for yourself. It mostly just comes from my head. I really like skulls and gushy, gooey, slimy things, and it just somehow morphs into what I'm doing. It's just things that popping out of my head that I don't exactly know where I get the inspiration from. It just happens. I don't pre-draw before I start making an art piece. It just happens. Big Warhammer player, big Warhammer 40K player actually. So I'm painting on a 28mm scale, which is quite small. If you think about a full person in that size with eyeballs and hair and facial features, it definitely helps me invoke a lot of detail into my stuff. I did a series of this biochemical attributes that kind of evolve around decaying elements, whether it be, infections or bacteria or even rust in some aspects. Because decay is one of those things that it slowly eradicates its host and just consumes it into this useless matter. And I kind of just took that apart and thought about it, like, what happens, with, plasma in your blood? What does that look like in this abstract idea? I like more of a painterly quality. I would probably have to go with Francis Bacon, because he paints really grotesque and very tangible paintings that just, it could be a painting of a side of beef that just, just gooey and fleshy and slightly rotten all at the same time, while having these people just so somber and very still. But you can definitely tell there's more of the emotion of, I don't want to move because it might invoke something horrible. I definitely see myself as an artistic expression, because you don't have to dress the way you paint or look the way you want to be seen, really. It's really how you carry yourself. This is just a mask itself, but through this mask I can help show people what I'm into and how things, tie in together with, my art, the way I dress, even the way I model. Through that modeling, it's very expressionistic, because there are so many different types of subgenres of every kind of person, whether it be goth or even, different kinds of jocks. It has a wide variety of what it is, what it can be, and even with those groups, it can be split apart to other groups. But somehow we all share, intertwining connections. And with those connections, you find little pieces that are different from one another in how they show themselves or how they express themselves or even how they do their own art. I don't see myself slowing down with my art getting better or even quitting anytime soon for even breaking. So as an artist, you need to keep your hand in the element.